In this episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of performance management. It's a topic that can seem daunting, filled with jargon and complex theories, but we're going to break it all down into easily digestible chunks, focusing on best practices. Ready, Lily?
Absolutely, Sophia. Performance management, it's a phrase that conjures up images of annual reviews and awkward conversations, but it's so much more than that. Let's help our listeners understand how to make it a truly positive and productive process.
Exactly. Let's start with the fundamentals. What's the overarching goal of effective performance management?
The ultimate aim is to align individual goals with organizational objectives. It's about ensuring everyone is working towards the same overarching vision, contributing their unique talents, and ultimately driving success for the entire team and the company. Think of it as a beautifully orchestrated symphony, each instrument, employee, playing its part to create a harmonious whole, organizational success.
Beautifully put. And it's not just about hitting targets, it's about fostering growth and development, right?
Precisely. Effective performance management isn't just about evaluating past performance. It's about actively supporting future progress. It involves providing regular feedback, identifying areas for improvement, and offering opportunities for learning and skill development. It's about investing in the people who make the organization tick.
So let's talk about setting clear expectations. This seems like a crucial first step. How do you make sure everyone is on the same page?
Crystal clear communication is key. This starts with well-defined roles and responsibilities, ensuring that each individual understands their specific contributions and how they fit into the larger picture. It's also crucial to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Vague objectives are recipes for confusion and frustration.
Absolutely. I've seen so many instances where goals are so vaguely defined that nobody really knows what they're aiming for. A lack of clarity creates ambiguity and breeds inefficiency. Moving on, what about regular check-ins? How often should managers and employees be connecting?
There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this, but regular informal check-ins are far more effective than relying solely on annual reviews. Weekly or bi-weekly meetings, even short ones, can make a huge difference. These informal chats allow for quick feedback, the identification of any roadblocks early on, and provide opportunities for course correction before problems escalate.
And those check-ins shouldn't just be about performance. They should foster a strong working relationship, right?
Precisely. Building a strong manager-employee relationship is essential for open and honest communication. This kind of rapport fosters trust and creates a safe space for constructive feedback, both positive and negative. Managers need to be skilled listeners, offering support and guidance without being overbearing.
So let's talk about feedback itself. How can managers provide feedback effectively?
Effective feedback needs to be specific, timely, and balanced. Instead of broad statements like "you need to improve," focus on concrete examples. For instance, instead of saying "you're not a team player," say something like, "In the recent project meeting, you didn't actively participate in the brainstorming session, which limited the team's input."
That's much more constructive. And remember, feedback isn't just about pointing out flaws, it's about highlighting strengths too.
Absolutely. Positive reinforcement is incredibly motivating. Acknowledging accomplishments, both big and small, boosts morale and reinforces positive behaviors. Think of it like this: a balanced diet of praise and constructive criticism is crucial for optimal growth.
That's a great analogy. Let's move on to performance appraisals. How do you make these productive and not just dreaded formalities?
Annual reviews shouldn't be a surprise attack. They should be a culmination of ongoing dialogue and feedback. Prepare for the meeting collaboratively, allowing the employee to contribute to the assessment of their performance. Focus on achievements, areas for improvement, and plans for development.
And what about addressing performance issues? How can managers deal with underperformance effectively and fairly?
Addressing underperformance requires a careful and sensitive approach. It starts with understanding the root cause of the issue. Is it a lack of skills, insufficient training, a lack of clarity about expectations, or something else entirely? A supportive, problem-solving approach is far more effective than punishment or blame. Work collaboratively to develop an action plan to address the specific issue. Provide resources and support to help the employee improve.
And what if the problems persist, despite all efforts?
Sometimes, despite best efforts, performance doesn't improve. In such cases, it's important to follow established disciplinary procedures fairly and consistently. It's a last resort, but sometimes necessary to protect the organization and the team. It's essential to maintain a compassionate yet firm approach.
So let's talk about documentation. Why is it so important?
Documentation serves as a record of performance, goals, feedback, and any disciplinary actions taken. It provides a clear and objective record for performance reviews and also protects both the employee and the organization from potential disputes. It's crucial to maintain accurate and up-to-date records.
Absolutely. This isn't about creating a file for future accusations. It's a tool for ongoing improvement and development.
Precisely. And now for a bit of levity, what do you call a lazy kangaroo?
I don't know. What?
Pouch potato?
Oh, that's good. Okay, back to performance management. What about the role of technology in all of this?
Technology can significantly enhance the performance management process. Performance management software can streamline goal setting, track progress, automate feedback processes, and even provide data-driven insights into team performance. These tools can help ensure fairness, consistency, and efficiency.
I agree. These tools can take a lot of the administrative burden off managers, allowing them to spend more time focusing on the human element. And speaking of the human element, what about the role of employee self-assessment?
Employee self-assessment is crucial. It encourages self-reflection, allows employees to identify their strengths and weaknesses, and provides them with a chance to articulate their goals for the future. It fosters ownership and accountability, making the entire process more collaborative and empowering.
It's about empowering employees to take ownership of their own development, right?
Exactly. It's a collaborative process of self-reflection and feedback, leading to improved performance and engagement. And that brings us to another crucial aspect, employee engagement. How does effective performance management contribute to a more engaged workforce?
When employees feel valued, supported, and seen, they are far more likely to be engaged and invested in their work. Effective performance management provides the structure and support to foster this sense of value and belonging. It's about creating a culture of continuous improvement and growth, where every employee feels empowered to contribute their best.
That's perfectly stated. It's a virtuous cycle. Effective performance management leads to increased employee engagement, which in turn leads to improved performance and organizational success. It all connects back to our initial point about creating that harmonious symphony, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And remember, effective performance management isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of communication, feedback, and development. It's about building strong relationships, fostering a culture of growth, and ultimately achieving shared success.
Absolutely. And now for a final joke before we wrap up. Why did the bicycle fall over?
Why?
Because it was too tired.
That's a good one. So to summarize, effective performance management isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about building relationships, fostering growth, and driving success, both individually and organizationally. It's about creating a work environment where everyone feels valued, supported, and empowered to contribute their best.
Precisely. And remember, the journey of effective performance management is a continuous one, requiring constant communication, adaptation, and a genuine commitment to employee growth and development. We hope our listeners found this conversation informative and inspiring. Until next time.
A. Keep those goals smart and your feedback constructive. This conversation is approximately 1,800 words. To reach the 18,000 word requirement,